Hey, how you doing? Sonic Racing Crossworlds has been going surprisingly strong throughout its first year, especially with the Mega Man drop, to the point where I fully believe Year 2 of DLC is pretty much all but confirmed. So, today, I'm gonna talk about that. But first, before we start, I want to go over my last predictions for the free DLC characters. I got Tangle, Whisper, Knight, and Ai right, but they threw me for a loop with Red, Majima, and Arlie, which Arlie I kinda expected, given people asking, and Red got me, because I forgot Sega owned Rovio. Majima I didn't expect, mainly because I didn't think they'd do another Yakuza character. So, I want to make new predictions before I actually start talking about Season 2. And I want to start by saying I unfortunately have changed my stance on Beat getting in the game. Not because I don't want the guy in the game, but because I just feel like it's a bit too unrealistic. Considering Jet Set Radio's music does belong to Hideki Naganuma and not Sega, and like Jet Set used a lot of licensed music, I don't really see Sega paying out of pocket just for Beat to be in the game, just for those tracks, the songs actually. So it sucks that Sega won't pay Naganuma his royalties, most likely, but I still want to see Amigo and Ulala in the game. And now I'm also thinking that Infinite is possible because of the Chaotix case files. But I feel like it would be a waste to not have him here. I have heard whispers, don't quote me on this, of maybe Classic Sonic coming to the game because of some stickers that I will not be putting up on screen because I cannot be asked to do that. I think Classic Sonic is kind of a waste of a slot and pretty redundant if you ask me, because we really don't need another Sonic on the roster, but you know, alright. So yeah, my last three characters, Infinite, Ulala, Amigo. And now with that out of the way, I'd like to talk about stuff I'd like to see potentially for Crossworld Season 2. Now, in the hypothetical situation that we do get a Year 2 of DLC, one of the things that I would really like to see is some more free content. Obviously more free characters, but new free tracks as well. Maybe some that coincide with these free characters. As you know, Crossworlds, right? They're smaller, takes less resources. That could be something fun. And a big thank you to the community again. But if that's too ambitious, a skin shop. I think a skin shop would be something nice to spend your extra Dampa tickets on and really express yourself with your character a bit more than just vehicle customization. Also, it'll give you something to spend them on. You know, unless you've already maxed out your main and gotten all the machine parts that you want, that will just be something extra, and just maybe reusing skins from the Sonic mobile games like Sonic Dash, Sonic vs. Speed Battle, the Apple Arcade version of TSR. I think that game has skins. I think a lot of the community would be pretty satisfied with that as an addition. I also do want to see more I want to move back to the idea of tracks just for a bit. Walk with me on the idea of one track from every previous Sonic game up until now being added to the game. Yes, even one from Sonic Drift 1 and 2, As frankly, I feel Sonic's racing history overall is just a tad bit underappreciated here, especially Sonic Riders, which is weird because the first two, at least, are, fairly beloved entries in Sonic's racing history. The first Riders game gets one track as a Crossworld, and as a die-hard Riders fan, I don't know how to feel about that. And I feel so sad for Zero Gravity fans as they get nothing, absolutely nothing at all. So I think that would be a really good idea. I genuinely do not care which tracks that they pick from Riders, one, Zero Gravity, and Free Riders. Personally, if you're asking me to pick, I think Babylon Garden and Gigan Rocks would be my two takes. Obviously, Babylon Garden from OG Riders and Gigan Rocks from Zero Gravity. I'm not too familiar with the Free Riders tracks because I barely played that game because it's ass. But on the topic of riders, I think eager types are also something a lot of people in the community have been talking about and have been wanting. Personally, I would love this as well. I think implementing bikes and skates would not be hard at all. The bikes could probably just be power vehicles that you can still sort of mix up with, other power machine pieces to make maybe three-wheelers. But with the skates, I can see them being speed, but only like customizable and mixable with each other, right? Obviously, you can't put the car parts on skates, but I think they'd be able to implement the skates being able to like only be customizable with each other, even if they need their own like section of the selection menu for it. More songs for the jukebox would obviously be really cool to see, and that's something that I definitely want. Whether it be Sonic or Sega's other racing IPs, I wouldn't really mind either way. More music for the game is always just going to be a good thing. And obviously new gadgets is something I'd want, but they've been coming out with new gadgets pretty regularly. The last patch we just got some. They seem to be doing them every couple of patches, which is nice. So that's all the free content I'd want for year 2. So now with that out of the way, I'm going to move on to maybe what I want for paid DLC for Season 2. So for Season 2 of Crossworlds DLC, I actually said who I wanted a while back in an older video, and not much from that video has changed.
Flashback.
Anyways, Batman would be a cool addition to the game. It's completely possible too, because Sonic and DC had a crossover recently, and it just about wrapped up. I think it wrapped up. I'm not completely sure. Haven't really been following them, but it's either wrapped up or is wrapping up soon. And I think it would be a missed opportunity not to put Batman in Crossworlds or some DC character right now. It's kind of obvious. It's so free. It's right there. They should just do it. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Like, genuinely. Now, if Sega wants to do something also really cool, they would get Goku. They'd get Goku into the game somehow. They could give him the car from the driving episode, and I think that's all fine and dandy, but I'd rather see him on the flying Nimbus instead. I think he's got, like, a lot of potential, maybe. I think they could give him an original kart too. I just want to see Goku in a Sonic game, okay? I think that's something a lot of people want to see. Now, a character that I personally want,
Listen, Twilight Sparkle. Okay? Okay? Hear me out. This sounds stupid. This sounds crazy. And it is. But if you were back in like, if you grew up on YouTube in either of these fandoms in the like early 2010s, you know there were like niggas genuinely gunning, like genuinely making Sonic and MLP crossover fan words. Y'all remember Animated James? I know some of you young ass niggas don't. Y'all remember Animated James? The whole Sonic and Rainbow Dash thing, the Tails versus Twilight, Pinky versus Amy, Knuckles versus Applejack. There's only 4, but like, I think I'm going off script from a perspective of the longtime fans. This would probably be the funniest and coolest shit we could get, dog. I'm right there with it. I like both of these franchises, dog. MLP has a lot of track potential. The world of Equestria is fucking massive. Like, we could have Ponyville, Manhattan, Cloudsdale, the Crystal Empire, Canterlot. There's so many, like, the fucking potential places that could be tracks, dog. I'm gonna be disappointed because I know Sega probably won't do it. There's like no chance, dog. There's no fucking chance it happens. If it does, I'm gonna lose my shit. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna be mad as shit too because I'm hyping myself up with the idea of it.
End of flashback.
Yes, I'm going to include that flashback for padding, just time padding for the algorithm. But, you know, I still want MLP. I still think something from DC should be here. I still think it's a waste of a slot because apparently we're getting another Sonic and DC crossover. I still want Dragon Ball. You know, it's easy. So I'll be surprised if we don't get season 2. But, you know, to ground myself out in reality a little bit, if we do get that, I think Crash Bandicoot would be a fine addition to Crossworlds roster. I think he'd fit right in with Pac-Man and Mega Man and just among the other Sonic cast. Crash has, apparently, one of the best racing games ever, which I have never played. So I can't really speak on that. But, you know, again, I feel like he'd fit with, you know, Mega Man, Pac-Man in terms of being DLC for this game. Really, at this point, I'm just happy to sit down and be able to talk about the possibility of Crossworlds getting another year because of its success. I wasn't expecting the game to be this well received and, you know, sell as this dang good for a Sonic Racing spinoff, especially with the competition that's on the market right now. But, you know, Crossworlds is doing much better than I could have ever expected it to be. And I'm so glad that that it is doing as good as it was. I'm doing this off script. I can't find words. Anyways, that's really about it. If you want Sonic Racing Crossworlds and don't have it yet, pick it up. It's on all platforms. It goes on sale pretty frequently, and it doesn't matter what you play it on, it has crossplay. So, you know, if you have Sonic Racing Crossworlds right now, let me know what you guys want for Season 2. And if you don't have the game, go fucking buy it. Bye!